Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to your June soul session. I am Marlo. If you're new and if you're family, welcome back, my friend. And Scorpio, I'm going to give you guys my new spiel, the new thing we're throwing in here. If you resonate with this message, don't forget to tickle my like button, caress subscribe, and ring my bell. Make sure that those notifications are set to all. And if you want to watch the extended for this video, you can find the link to that in the description box below. Do you like that? Let me know what you think in the comments. If you don't like it, just lie to me. You know what I'm saying? But anywho, let's go ahead and jump into you guys' cards and see what's going on for you all for the month of June. Okay, here we are. 3 cards out off the bat. We have the Tower in the reverse, and that is Scorpio energy coming out of May and into June. So it's an attempt to avoid a disaster. Then we have Temperance in the reverse, and that's a little bit of melancholy emotions there, my friend. Feeling kind of off, you know what I mean? Feeling not like yourself, you know? It feels kind of like powder keg kind of emotions for me, where even if I were to say, dude, can I just be honest, Scorpio, it feels kind of either like aggravation or like just frustration. It feels like powder keg type of energy, but I feel with it being in the response to this tower, it's more or less you guys trying to dodge a bullet, or you guys feeling like trapped or like stuck or like controlled or something like that, you know? But I feel even though you guys dodged whatever this is that we're speaking about specifically, it's the thought that dodging this thing would bring you a sense of like peace or something along those lines, or prevent you from, I don't want to say facing consequences. I don't want to necessarily say that, but it's kind of like trying to dodge this particular thing, but it's like you dodge this bullet, but you're still in a emotional state that has you feeling uneasy. But the thing I have to say specifically, it feels almost like fear that's related to whatever this is that you guys were kind of trying to dodge. And child, look, and the thing I'm saying is the vibe that I'm getting, it feels like it's none of my damn business, meaning that it feels like something like, I don't know, Scorpio, this is a weird energy I'm picking up on. Dude, this is a really weird energy I'm picking up on. So I'm just going to throw a hypothetical out here. Just to kind of get this energy signature out. What this would feel like to me is like, and this is going to sound real cray, y'all. It's almost like if you knew a person, right? Like say if you had a friend and your friend robbed a bank, right? And you were supposed to have lunch with your friend that day. And you decided just like, you got a key to their house. So you go over there, you're just hanging out, chilling, waiting to go to lunch. And all of a sudden, your friend runs in with like all of these duffel bags with dollar bills and stuff like falling out. And you're like, the heck is going on? And it's like, what are you doing here? And it's like, we're going to lunch. I was waiting for you to go to lunch. It's like, oh, well, I didn't know you were going to come inside. And it's like, oh, and it's like, why do you have all those bags of money? And your friend's like, I just robbed a bank. And you're like, what? Right? So it's kind of like Scorpio being like, okay, I had absolutely nothing to do with this, had no idea that my friend was a bank robber, and it's like, okay, well, seems like you're really busy. You got a lot of things going on here. So maybe we can do a rain check on, lunch. And you slowly back out of the door and like go home and you're like panicking. And then you see on the news that they're looking for, a person that robbed a bank, right? So I know that that's a really crazy story, right? God forbid if any of you tell me that that's true. Oh my goodness, because y'all always say with my hypotheticals that it's like very literal. I hope that that's not true for anyone. But I feel, so this is like what happened in May, right? So like in June, it's like every time this friend calls, right? you make up an excuse to not go have lunch with them because they robbed a bank and, you know, the police and the FBI are looking for them and you don't want to be affiliated with that, right? But it's like, so you dodged a bullet by literally dodging this person, but your emotions are still like in unrest, because I feel like these two are heavily linked. And then this is like the energy you guys are coming into the month of June with. So it's like, even though you dodged this bullet, right? And you're walking out of this situation holding like a burden on your shoulders, right? Because you know that your friend robbed a bank. It's like this fear of like, you know, did someone see me leave their house? You know, I get fingerprints on anything? Could my friend like throw me under the bus? You know, like if the police come question me, like, do I, you know, confess and say, you know, they told me the truth and said they robbed the bank. Like, should I call the police now and rat my friend out? You know, since like my friend knows that I know that they robbed the bank, are they going to come after me? It's like, that's literally the vibe that I feel with this temperance in the reverse. So it's like you got out of a situation that's less than stellar, but it's like the emotions of you just being involved in the first place are still kind of getting to you, if that's making sense. And I hope and pray that that makes sense, because it's the same thing with this Four of Swords in the reverse. It's like a level of unrest and anxiety and like burnout. You know what I mean? So it's almost like literally you guys dodged a bullet, but there's like, it's like aftershocks after an earthquake kind of vibes, if that's making sense. You know, it's like the crisis is averted. However, it's the backlash of what it is that you guys are feeling emotionally that's really getting to you. Now, the next card that we have is the Nine of Cups in the reverse. Oh, come on, my wonderful Scorpios. And then we have the Seven of Wands. Okay, well, that's a good thing for them. So with this Nine of Cups in the reverse, man, it's more or less like it's a lot going on. Like, I don't know what this is, Scorpio, hence my, you know, very elaborate analogy. You guys have to tell me in the comments, because first of all, y'all know I'm nosy. So y'all have to tell me in the comments what this is speaking about. But it's like still with this Nine of Cups in the reverse, it's a level of like disappointment. And it's that still that cumbersome, burdened, like, you know, oppression kind of energy, and being dissatisfied with how this panned out. And the only thing it's like, the thing that makes me question, and this is literally my own curiosity, the thing that I'm wondering is like, whatever it is that you guys dodged, like I said, the, you know, the bank robber friend and not going to lunch with them, but it's like, I'm kind of wondering if you actually went through the tower. And that's where it's like, y'all have to tell me what this is, because it's just, you know, it's making me wonder if you guys didn't dodge whatever this is we're talking about and you actually went through it. I wonder if that would be any different, because it's like the vibe that I'm getting is, and of course, you would have to know how it is I see the Tower card. I celebrate the Tower card. I think the Tower card is dope, because I feel with the Tower card, that's how we imprison ourselves. It's like it's a prison of our own making that we don't even know that we're in. And like, you know, Spirit sending the lightning bolt to destroy the tower is how it is that we come back to reality and we see how far off track we have gotten. So just kind of seeing these reversals here, it's kind of making me wonder with dodging whatever this is, because it's like, I don't want to say that you guys are trying to dodge responsibility or consequences for actions, but I'm just curious about that, because it would seem to me that dodging this is what's causing all of this anxiety and like unrest and, you know what I mean? Just melancholy kind of vibes, like not being, you know, really happy with your situation and just like this whole burden that you're carrying. And I'm wondering if, and Lord, I'm like seeing a whole nother thing, dude. oh gosh, this is Scorpio. I don't know what's happening in America. Because the other thing that I just saw, y'all are gonna have to tell me what the hell this is about, dude. The other thing I just saw is like if a person were to like be on the run, right? So that's like if we kept the same scenario, that's like the bank robber friend, right? And they like, skip town and leave the country, right? It's like you robbed a bank and you were able to like, we're in the United States. So it's like you ran to Mexico, right? And then you go down to South America. So it's like, you're living in like, Brazil or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like you just, just completely went MIA. But because you're running from the law, it's like you have to be very low key. You can't reach out to your family. Like you have to wear a disguise and all of this stuff. This is so interesting that Scorpio's reading is like this, but you have to like do all of that stuff. And even though it's like you didn't have to go to jail, it's like you're spending your life in a state of anxiety, right? Because you're on the run. So you can't get too close to people. You can't trust people. You can't reach out to your family. So it's the same kind of energy I'm picking up on. It's like, yeah, you dodged a bullet. Like you didn't have to go to jail, but it's like the state of anxiety you're living in. It's like, which is better, And I don't know why, like I'm being compelled to ask you guys that. It's like, and I feel that's more or less what the message is for my Scorpios. Like, this is a question that Scorpio has to ask themselves in reference to whatever this is speaking to you about specifically. It's like, granted, you dodged the bullet. But when you look at the state of mind that you're in after dodging this bullet, is it really worth it? You know what I mean? Because with the 7 of Wands, this is asking you guys to more or less like stand your ground, right? It's like, it's more or less stuff that's coming at you. But once again, Scorpio, it feels to me like there's energy that's coming at you guys, but it's coming at you from like both sides. So it's not necessarily just like you guys being attacked per se and needing to just like, establish your boundaries and stand in your truth type of thing. It's like, regardless if it's almost, dude, it's literally almost like you guys standing in your truth, whether it was dodging the tower or letting the tower crumble. It's like either or, it's like all of this is preventing you from doing what you need to do. And I hope and pray this is making sense, because Scorpio, I have no idea what I'm even talking about, but it feels almost like a situation where it's like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. And it's like, so that's like it, whether the tower fell or it didn't, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. But the only way to win in this is if you stand up for your truth. So the thought is, gosh, more anxiety with this 9 of Swords. It's like, regardless of what you stand for, it's like, it's kind of like it would have worked out either way. So if I go back to the scenario of the person who's like running from the police, right? It's like you robbed a bank, right? So it's like, if you go to jail, that sucks, right? If you, skip town and go out of the country and you have to live like this hermit life and cut yourself off from everyone and not trust anyone to get close to you, and you're constantly looking over your shoulder, afraid that, the FBI is going to show up at your door one day, it's like, that sucks too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like either way, it's like there's consequences to it, and one isn't really better than the other. So and that's a weird message. And like I said, I guess because, I don't have Scorpio on my chart. So I'm literally trying to think, and I know those are really crazy analogies, y'all, but like literally, that's why I'm like, y'all have to tell me what this is actually about. But it's almost like a rhetorical question in a sense, or a question that Scorpio really needs to ask themselves. It's like you're standing your ground like protecting yourself, but you have to ask yourself if it's really worth it though. Because, you know, whatever it, oh, good Lord, I was pulling my hair. Whatever it is that you guys are trying to avoid, you know, because it's like, it's energy that's coming at you guys, right? And you're trying to self-protect, right? You're either trying to protect the tower from crumbling or you're trying to like sidestep something. But the whole important thing to get here is while you're standing guard protecting this is what it's doing to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially with the 9 of Swords dude falling under the 4 of Swords in the reverse, like that's literally anxiety. And I say the thing is like the energy I feel about it and why I use those really like outrageous analogies is because, dude, this really feels like something that is almost like life altering or something, Scorpio. Like this is like, because this is like not baby anxiety. This is not like, oh my gosh, I really hope I get that job. Like, this is literally something that shakes you to your core. You feel what I'm saying? And it's almost like denying it or something, or pretending that it's not happening. Like in another scenario I could think about, like say if, you know, a parent or a partner or like a spouse is sick, right? And it's like being in denial and not wanting to accept that they're sick, right? So it's just like, I'm disassociating. None of this is happening. None of this is happening. And it's like the thing you're staying on guard with is like, you know, people asking like, are they okay? And it's like, oh, they are fine. Like, don't worry about my mom. Don't worry about my sister. They're fine. Right? Because it's not wanting to accept the fact that you could lose this person. But at the same time, and that would be a more realistic scenario. It's like if there's someone who's sick, or even like if there's like a divorce or something like that, like if your partner is like, you know, I don't love you anymore, you know, and I want us to get a divorce. It's like there's some level of not wanting to accept the truth of something. Like it's almost like, dude, if I were to look at like, I'm like changing up the whole spread and stuff, child. If we were to literally look at this tower upright, the energy I'm picking up on would be the equivalent of like Scorpio standing at the foot of the tower, seeing the tower shaking, seeing bricks fall, right? But refusing to accept that that's happening. So it's like Scorpio turning their back on the tower and people passing by and saying, dude, you need to move out of the way. Like there's bricks that are falling off of the tower, right? And it's like Scorpio saying, nope, no, it's not. No, that's not what it is at all. I know it seems like it's crumbling, but it's not, because it's too painful to accept it. It's like it's something that's happening and Scorpio doesn't want to accept it. But it's like, I feel you guys like refusing to accept it could potentially make matters worse. Like I get it, especially if this has something to do with like a loved one being sick or something like that. Like, I get it. I know that that's something that's hard to accept, but it's like, say, you know, or even if we're talking about yourself here, like if you know that something's kind of not right and you're refusing to go to the doctor, it's like if you went to the doctor, you would find out sooner and potentially something could be done about it, as opposed to being in denial and it turning out a lot worse. And like the doctor being like, if you would have came in earlier, we could have you know? But the other thing that's important to note here is this Temperance and the reverse, which pretty much is saying that this is a timeline you guys should be transcending. It's like, this is something you're supposed to be coming out of. And it's like giving yourself the illusion of forward progress. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like being on the hamster wheel in a sense. It's like, it seems as if you're moving forward, but you're actually not. And Temperance is saying you're supposed to do that, right? Like that's the call on your life right now. So it's like the Tower is what would set you free, right? And Temperance is what removes you from this timeline and gets you back into alignment with your life path. But it's like all of this stuff would be symptoms of the deeper problem, right? Because the whole reason why it's like the cycle isn't ending is because, you know, Scorpio is almost pigeonholing themselves into this, which I understand, because it's like you're trying to stand your ground from these oppositional forces that are coming towards you, but you're not seeing that it's really like a blessing in disguise. It's like, this is whatever this is, it's like releasing you from this particular situation, but it's like, it's almost seeing something that's your deliverance as like your enemy. And all of these anxious feelings of trying to protect, you know, it's even a thing of like, Scorpio, tell me what this is, child. I can't wait to get in this extended, because this is so fascinating to me of how I'm seeing this, and even what I'm picking up intuitively, just the energy I'm feeling. I know that this is no small potatoes because I'm feeling it in my chest. Like, it's an anxious feeling, like, and it's almost like being terrified, dude. Like it's being afraid of what's going to happen, or you know what I mean? Like it's literally a fear and a terror that I feel. And I feel what would behoove you guys is facing the music of whatever this is, like whatever it is that we're talking about, because it's like, even the vibe I get, dude, because I know y'all hear how broad I'm speaking. It's almost like whatever I'm talking about could potentially be as serious as the whole bank robbery thing, you know? And it's like, it's none of your damn business. You feel what I'm saying? But I feel what you guys are standing for, you really have to take a step back and ask yourself, like, you know, is this really worth it? Like, is this really, you know, helping? Would it be better if you just let the tower fall? Like, if you just face what's happening and accept it, like, would that be better? Or do you feel that this path is better? Because what it's looking like is, even though you're trying to dodge like an oppressive force or a disappointment or a disaster, or however it is you want to look at it, it's like the question you would want to ask yourself is, are you really dodging it? Looking at how it is that you feel right now and the stance that you're holding to, are you really dodging it? Is this really better? If that makes sense. So that is your soul session, Scorpio. I have no idea what this is talking about. Y'all have to let me know in the comments. I can feel that it's very, very serious, but I'm going over to my network to do you guys extended. So if you're bound that life, follow me over there. But if not, I still love your freaking face. And Scorpio, take care of yourself, you know, reach out for help in this situation, reconsider your situation. I wholeheartedly wish you guys the best, like, because I don't know what this is speaking about, but I can tell that it's very serious. But you're definitely going to be in my prayers, and I wish you guys the best. So I will see you all sooner than later, my friends. So sorry to interrupt you guys while you're listening to the show, but I wanted to tell you guys about our new partnership with BetterHelp. If you haven't heard of them, it's an online resource in which you can find your very own friendly local neighborhood therapist, no matter where you are in the world. You sign up, and within 24 hours, they match you with a therapist that's right for you. And you can talk to your counselor every week via phone or video chat. You can also text them between sessions. If you or someone you know has been considering therapy, in the description box below this video, but I'm going over to my network, Vimeo, Patreon, YouTube members, all the places to do you guys extended and to play out the rest of these cards to give you guys some insights for the rest of the month on this particular situation. So if you're about that life, follow me on over there. But if not, I still love your freaking face, Cappy. And I will see you guys sooner than later, my friends.